That night, whispers surrounded the shack, names of past guards. Pleading, he barricaded the door, heart pounding. A shadow loomed outside, scratching insistently. Let me in double quotes. William clutched the bat, sweat pouring. The scratching intensified, wood splintering as the door buckled. Lightning flashed, revealing a grotesque face, twisted and pale. William screamed, swinging blindly. The figure retreated into the night, panting. He realized this wasn't random. It knew him. The cemetery wasn't haunted by ghosts. It was alive with something far worse, and it hungered for more than fear. Tomorrow, he'd uncover the truth, or die trying. After the attack, William quit, vowing never to return. Days blurred into unemployment, his apartment echoing with silence. Bills mounted, food scarce, his family's calls went unanswered. Shame burning, the wound on his shoulder festered. A constant reminder of the nightmare. Research consumed him. Online forums whispered of the cemetery's curse. Founded in the 1800s, it housed victims of a plague, their restless spirits or what. One post mentioned a guardian beast, shapeshifter preying on the living. Ridiculous, yet the scars itched as if alive. Harlan called repeatedly. Come back. Double pay. Desperation won. William returned to the office. One condition. Tell me everything. Harlan sighed, face gaunt. It's just stories. Animals. Vandals. You'll be fine. That night, armed with a gun from a shady contact, William entered the gates. The air hummed with tension, graves seeming to shift in the moonlight. Hours passed quietly, lulling him. Then, at 3 a.m., footsteps circled the shack, slow, taunting. He burst out, gun drawn. Come on. A figure emerged from the fog. Tall, cloaked in shadow, eyes gleaming red. It lunged, faster than human. William fired, missed. Claws raked his arm. He dropped the gun, scrambling. Inside. Barricaded, he heard it, prowling, whispering his name. William. Join us. The door rattled violently. Panic surged. He grabbed a chair leg, sharpened end like a stake. The assault stopped at dawn. Bloodied but alive, William fled home. Dreams plagued him, the figure's face morphing into Harlan's. Was his boss involved? Paranoia grew. Financial ruin loomed. No other jobs. Swallowing pride, he texted Harlan. I'm back. The reply. Good. Tonight, as dusk fell, William drove, gun reloaded. Unseen eyes followed from the treetops. The entity sensed his return, salivating. This time, it wouldn't play, it would strike to kill, revealing its true form in the heart of the storm. William's return felt like stepping into a trap. The cemetery welcomed him with unnatural stillness, no wind, no sounds, as if the dead held their collective breath. His bandaged arm throbbed, a warning he ignored for survival's sake. Patrol began tensely. At midnight, a familiar whisper slivered through the air. Closer. Now. He spun, gun ready, but shadows mocked him. Deeper in, near the willow, he found scratches on bark, fresh, like messages. Boss knows. Doubt festered. Harlan's evasions. The attack. He radioed. We need to talk now, Static replied. Then Harlan's voice. Stay put. Coming. Hours later, footsteps approached. Come, stealthy but bold. Harlan emerged from the fog, face pale, eyes shadowed. What happened? William demanded, showing scars. Harlan glanced away. Wild dogs. Nothing more. Lies, William pressed. Guards vanished. What's the curse? Harlan laughed hollowly. Superstition, but stay vigilant. As he turned, William noticed Harlan's teeth. A trick of light. Alone again. Terror peaked at 4 a.m. Growls encircled the shack. Something heavy slammed the door. William fired through wood howls of pain. Peering out, blood trailed into darkness. Dawn brought Harlan's call. Injured. Quit if scared. Defiant, William stayed. That night, visions haunted. Harlan transforming. Fangs bared. Research revealed. Harlan owned the land. Family tied to ancient rituals. Summoning entities for power. Horror dawned. His boss wasn't human. Confrontation loomed. As night fell, William waited. Stake hidden. Footsteps neared, not animal, but deliberate. The door creaked open. Harlan, eyes glowing. You shouldn't have come back. The transformation began. Skin rippling. Fangs elongating. William's blood ran cold. The monster lunged. Claws extended. Suspense thickened. The final battle approached. Secrets unraveling in blood and shadow. The shack trembled, as Harlan, or what was once Harlan, burst in form, twisting grotesquely. His skin stretched taut over elongated bones. Eyes burning crimson. Fangs protruded, dripping viscous saliva. You were warned, it snarled, voice a guttural echo. William backed against the wall, heart hammering. This was no man, a vampire, demon. The air reeked of blood and decay. What are you? He gasped. A mocking laugh, guardian of the forgotten. Feed on the foolish. It lunged. William dodged, grabbing the gun. Shots rang out, bullets embedded. But the creature barely flinched. Wounds closing with sickening squelches. Claws slashed, tearing William's shirt, grazing flesh. Pain flared. He countered with the bat, cracking ribs. The monster roared, hurling him across the room. Vision swimming, William spotted the stake-sharp wood from earlier. It advanced slowly, savoring fear. Your predecessors screamed too. Whispers from graves joined, souls urging resistance. William feigned weakness, luring it close. As fangs neared his throat, he struck stake, plunging into the chest. A piercing shriek echoed. Black ichor sprayed. The creature convulsed, form shifting back to Harlan's eyes, wide in agony. But it wasn't done. Klaus raked William's hand, snapping bones. Agony exploded. He twisted the stake deeper. The monster collapsed, twitching, then still, panting. William staggered out, broken hand cradled. Dawn broke, dispelling shadows. The cemetery sighed, as if relieved. He bandaged crudely, fleeing to a hospital. Animal attack, he lied. Recovery was slow, nightmares persistent. But peace was illusionary. Weeks later, whispers returned in his apartment. A shadow in the mirror. Harlan's face, smiling. Had he truly killed it, or unleashed something worse? The horror lingered, suspense building. William packed, heading for Borders. Yet deep down, he knew, the entity followed, patient, eternal. William's escape was frantic. Hospital discharge papers in hand. He boarded a bus to the border, broken arm in a sling. The city faded, replaced by endless highways. But paranoia clung like fog. Mirrors reflected fleeting shadows. Whispers haunted his dreams. Not over ... in a dingy motel. He researched more. The cemetery's entity was ancient, bound to bloodlines. Killing Harlan severed one tie but transferred the curse. His wounds itched unnaturally, healing too fast. Night fell. A knock echoed, heart racing. He peered through the peephole. Empty hall. Opening the door, a chill wind carried decayed scent. Footsteps retreated downstairs. Unseen pursuer. He drove through the night, radio static morphing into growls. At a gas station, the attendant's eyes gleamed red briefly. Illusion. He fled, tires screeching. Crossing into another country. Relief washed over him. A new city, anonymous job. Normalcy beckoned. But on his first night alone, the phone rang. Unknown number. You can't run. Harlan's voice hissed. Terror peaked. He smashed the phone, but whispers persisted from vents. Names of the dead. His reflection, warped fangs peeking. Desperation led to a priest's exorcism. The man paled. This is no ghost, it's in you now. That night, in the chapel, shadows converged. The entity manifested. Spectral Harlan, claws extended. William fought with holy water, burning it back. But pain seared his chest. Transformation beginning. He escaped, vowing vigilance. Settling in a remote town, he armed himself. Stakes, garlic, mirrors. Days passed quietly, but suspense built. Each sunset brought dread. Would tonight be the end? A full moon rose. Howls echoed. His door rattled. It had found him. The final confrontation loomed. Horror inescapable. Years blurred in William's new life. A fragile facade in a foreign land. By day, he worked odd jobs, blending into crowds. Nights were vigils, windows barred, stakes nearby. The curse simmered within occasional blackouts, waking with blood on hands. Animals mauled nearby. Memories tormented. The cemetery's whispers evolving into visions. Harlan's face mocked from dreams. We are one. Doctors dismissed it as PTSD. Priests fled at his tails. One stormy night, it escalated. Power outage plunged his apartment into darkness. Footsteps creaked floors not his. William ... double quotes. The voice cooed. Close. He lit a candle. Flame flickering on walls. Alive with shadows twisting into clawed figures. The entity emerged. Not Harlan, but amalgam of past victims. Eyes hollow, fangs eternal. He screamed, stake raised. You chose the grave. It replied. Lunging, struggle ensued. Claws versus wood. Blood spilling. Pain ignited his own transformation. Fangs elongating. Strength surging. In a frenzy. He impaled it. But it laughed. Kill me, become me. The form dissolved, absorbed into him. Agony peaked. He collapsed. Changed. Dawn. Revealed normalcy. but mirrors showed red eyes briefly. The horror internalized. He was the monster now, hunger gnawing. He wandered, feeding discreetly strays, then suspense eternal. When would control slip? Cities blurred, pursuits endless. In a final twist, he returned to the cemetery drawn inexorably. Gates opened willingly. Among graves, peace. No whispers welcomed home. William vanished into legend, a warning to guards. The cycle continued, horror unbound. No escape, only shadows forever. William Mara, a 25-year-old security guard, had spent the last 3 years patrolling the quiet streets of 57 Pinecrest Avenue. It was a mundane job, checking locks, scanning perimeters, and occasionally shooing away stray animals. The pay was steady, enough to keep his small apartment running and send a little back to his family. He never imagined his life would spiral into something out of a nightmare. That evening, as he wrapped up his shift under the dim glow of streetlights, his phone buzzed. A message from his boss. Your duty changes tomorrow. Report at dawn. William stared at the screen, a flicker of curiosity turning to unease. He replied, asking for details, but the response was curt. You'll see. Shrugging it off, he headed home, the cool night air whispering through the trees like a distant warning. At home, he collapsed onto his worn couch, replaying the message. Why the secrecy? His boss, Mr. Harlan, had always been straightforward, gruff, but reliable. William's mind wandered to rumors he'd heard from other guards, strange assignments, people vanishing without notice. But those were just stories, right? He laughed it off, turning on the TV to drown out the creeping doubt. The next morning, he arrived at the office, heart pounding slightly. Mr. Harlan's door creaked open, revealing a shadowy figure behind a cluttered desk. You're going to the old cemetery on the outskirts, Harlan said flatly, his eyes avoiding William's. Night shifts only. No one else has lasted long, but you're tough. William's stomach twisted. A cemetery, alone at night. Images of crumbling tombstones and fog-shrouded graves flooded his mind. Why me? That place is ... eerie. Harlan leaned forward, his face pale in the fluorescent light. Take it or resign. Your choice. Hesitating, William thought of his mounting bills, the empty fridge at home. Fine, he muttered, forcing a nod. As he left, a chill ran down his spine like unseen eyes watching him. Little did he know, this was just the beginning of the terror that awaited in the shadows of the dead. William drove to the cemetery, as dusk fell, the road narrowing into a winding path lined with overgrown weeds. The iron gates loomed ahead, rusted and creaking in the wind like a skeletal welcome. He parked his car outside, flashlight in hand, and stepped through. The air was thick, heavy with the scent of damp earth and decay. Rows of weathered headstones stretched into the darkness, silent sentinels under a moonless sky. His new post was a small guard shack near the entrance, equipped with a flickering lantern and a radio that crackled with static. Just patrol the grounds every hour, Harlan had instructed over the phone. Keep intruders out. William settled in, trying to shake off the unease. The cemetery was vast, forgotten, perfect for vandals or worse. But as hours ticked by, nothing stirred except the occasional rustle of leaves. Around midnight, a faint sound echoed from the far end, a soft scraping, like nails on stone. William froze, straining his ears. It stopped abruptly. Probably an animal, he whispered to himself. Gripping his flashlight tighter, he ventured out, beam cutting through the fog. Shadows danced between graves, twisting into grotesque shapes. His heart raced as he approached a cluster of mausoleums, their doors sealed with ancient locks. There it was, again scraping. Closer now, he swung the light, revealing nothing but crumbling marble. A cold breeze brushed his neck, carrying a whisper that sounded almost human. Leave, ... double quotes. William spun around, but the path was empty. Sweat beaded on his forehead, despite the chill. Was his mind playing tricks? Back in the shack, he radioed Harlan, but got only silence. The night dragged on, each minute amplifying his paranoia. As dawn broke, painting the sky in blood-red hues, William exhaled in relief. But deep down, a seed of dread had taken root. What if the whispers weren't imaginary? What secrets did this place hold, buried with the dead? He drove home, unaware that the true horror was just awakening on his second night. William returned to the cemetery with a thermos of coffee and a pocket knife for reassurance. The gates groaned as he pushed them open, the sound echoing like a lament. Fog rolled in thick, swallowing the headstones in a milky haze. He could barely see 10 feet ahead. The world reduced to ghostly outlines. Patrolling felt like wading through a dream or nightmare. Every step crunched on gravel, but tonight, Other footsteps seemed to mimic his soft, deliberate pads trailing behind. He stopped abruptly. The echoes stopped too. "Who's there?" he called, voice trembling. Silence answered, broken only by the distant hoot of an owl. Deeper into the grounds, near an ancient willow tree, a low growl rumbled. William's beam caught a flash of Icello, piercing before they vanished. A cat, but it was too large, too swift. His pulse thundered as he backed away, tripping over a root. Landing hard, he felt something brush his leg, cold, like icy fingers. Scrambling up, he ran back to the shack, slamming the door. Inside, the radio hissed to life unbidden, static laced with faint murmurs. "Not ... alone ... double quotes." William yanked the plug, but the whispers lingered in his mind. He paced, rationalizing wind, animals, exhaustion, yet doubt gnawed at him. As midnight struck, a shadow passed the window, tall, humanoid, but distorted. He peered out, heart in his throat. Nothing. Then, a knock, sharp, insistent. He gripped the knife, opening the door a crack. Empty fog stared back. Closing it, he felt a breath on his neck. Whirling around, the shack was empty, but a single muddy footprint marred the floor knot. His sighs. Dawn came slowly, the fog lifting to reveal undisturbed graves. William left shaken, questions swirling. Who or what haunted this place? Rumors of cursed grounds flickered in his memory. He decided to research the cemetery's history tomorrow. But as he drove away, a figure watched from the tree line, eyes glowing faintly in the morning light. The hunt had begun. William's third night brought a storm, rain lashing the cemetery like vengeful spirits. Thunder boomed overhead, lightning illuminating twisted branches like claws. He huddled in the shack, the roof leaking in rhythmic drips that mimicked a heartbeat to steady, to alive. Boredom gave way to dread around 2 a.m., when a yowl pierced the downpour. It came from the eastern plots, where old family crypts stood sentinel. Armed with an umbrella and flashlight, William ventured out, water soaking his boots. The cry repeated, pained and desperate. "Just a stray," he muttered, but his grip tightened on the light. Near a cracked headstone, he spotted it. A black cat, fur-matted eyes wide with terror. It hissed, then darted into the shadows. William followed, curiosity overriding fear. The path led to an overgrown mausoleum, its door ajar impossible, as he'd checked it earlier. Inside, the air was stale, thick with mold. The cat perched on a sarcophagus, staring at him. As he approached, the cat leaped away, vanishing into a crack in the wall. William shone his light nothing but dust. Then, a whisper. "Help, me, double quotes, not from the cat, but from behind." He turned slowly, beam revealing empty space. A chill seeped into his bones. Back outside, the rain had stopped, but fog returned, denser. Footsteps splashed nearby. He called out, voice lost in the mist. Something brushed his arm. He swung the flashlight, hitting air. Panic rising, he retreated to the shack. There, on the desk, lay a wet paw print, but the door was locked. William's hands shook as he wiped it away. Was the cat a lure? A ghost? Sleep evaded him until dawn. Researching later, he found old articles, guards disappearing, blamed on accidents. One mentioned a shape-shifting entity, dismissed as folklore. William laughed nervously, but doubt lingered. Tonight, he'd arm himself better. Unbeknownst to him, the entity watched, patient, plotting its next move in the eternal silence of the graves. By the fourth night, William's nerves were frayed threads. He arrived armed with a baseball bat from home, eyes scanning the gates warily. The cemetery seemed quieter, as if holding its breath. Stars twinkled mockingly above, indifferent to the horrors below. Patrol started uneventfully, but at 1 a.m., a metallic clang echoed from the central vault. William approached cautiously, bat raised. The vault door swung open slightly. No breeze stirred. Inside, darkness swallowed his light. A foul stench hid him. Rot and blood. Something scurried. He glimpsed a shape, tall and hunched. "Show yourself," he shouted. Silence. Then, pain exploded in his shoulder, deep and burning. Blood soaked his shirt as he stumbled back, bat swinging wildly. It connected with something solid, eliciting a guttural snarl. He fled, vision blurring from shock. In the shack, he bandaged the wound crudely, wincing. It looked like Clausen, but too precise, too vicious. Radioing Harlan got voicemail. "Busy. Handle it." Exhaustion claimed him briefly, but nightmares jerked him awake. Red eyes, fangs dripping. Dawn revealed the vault sealed. No blood outside. Hallucination. The gash said otherwise. Quitting crossed his mind, but bills piled up. He confronted Harlan that day. What's really there? Harlan's eyes darkened. Old tales. Do the job or leave. William stormed out, but poverty forced his return.